Hello everyone, hopefully everyone's doing good today. And today we will be discussing about gun control and the idea is to restrict them and not have them more in the public. So gun control has been in the talks for a long time already, and it hasn't really been precisely targeted to be discussed and to be handled right away in the moment. So majority of the time that gun control, that topic comes up in court or in law is normally typically when there's a mass shooting or something where it seems to be unfair in the rights of humans. So I say the idea is to be able to purchase a gun or even get the hands on one is just to be more strict and more background checks. Because nowadays, as an 18-year-old, you're able to purchase a shotgun or a rifle. And then the crazy part is that you're not even old enough to be able to purchase a drink, which is just alcohol, right? And then for 21-year-olds, they are able to purchase obviously the shotgun and rifle and also handguns. So the idea is to just make them strict, and also the reason we want to do this is because of the mass shootings that have occurred recently, not so long ago, about the Buffalo shooting that went on. So there has been shootings in schools, and then that is the reason why we want to restrict the laws on, strict the laws on them, and so we want to take care of the children. Now, because there's people that do say, I say that we should that if children as young as 18 are able to go into the military, then they should be able to have the ability to purchase a gun. Now, the difference between that is that in the military, the goal and the idea is to build character. Yes, they do prepare you for war. However, the more moral idea is to change your mindset and be a better person, be more disciplined, more responsible. So that's one majority of the people that say that. And then there's another part that say, oh, if people have guns, why don't we just give guns to the teachers? Now, the thing is, we want to keep guns away from children. We don't want them nowhere near, so we just want to keep them as far as possible. And then the reason that is because children die. Innocent children, very young, who have a whole life ahead of themselves, they just lose their life in instant, just really fast. The idea of being able to purchase an instrument that could kill is not really a good thing that should be roaming around just in people, right? Because nowadays, like they say, anyone could just be carrying one, and you wouldn't even know, right? So then I could go into talking about how homicide and suicide rates go up just because of how people think with mental illness, and then it just goes hand in hand on how they could build up to something. People who have very bad mental illness could just get mad at somebody and then just think the wrong way and then just head off and then go into the wrong area of you know so the idea is to restrict the laws, do more further background checks, and then not be able to hand these weapons to children, not even 21. I say the best idea, if they were not to change the law or find something in between to satisfy the people who want to restrict the law, is to at least allow 30-year-olds, just because once you're in your 20s, you're still learning, you're still growing, your mindset is not really all the way there sometimes. And then, yeah, some say that even when you're 30s or 40s, your mindset is probably not the best. However, it's more that you're more disciplined, you're more mature. In this article, The Science is Clear, Gun Control Saves Life, by the editors, they point out a study comparing gun deaths in the US to other high-income countries in Europe and Asia tells us that homicide rate in teens and young adults is 49 times higher. Our firearm suicide rate is 8 times higher. The US has more guns than any other countries in comparison. So just by hearing that we have more weapons here than other countries is very, very strong from that statement, because now there's more higher chances of, like they said, rates of killing and homicides and suicides, right? Sorry, I confused that one. So here I will show you a chart of the mass shootings during the first half of each year that have been going around. Right. So as you can see there, right, in 2024 there already has been 261 mass shootings, and then and it just keeps going higher and higher, right? It did go a little bit lower at 2024, but the rate is pretty high as it is already. And then it does not seem to be dropping by drastically amount. So the idea of restricting guns should be in the talks more than it's not, because there has been a poll nowadays that people talk about guns and then they try to hear people's opinion on trying to lower the rates for gun being able to be sold to others. Now, for the CNN poll, most Americans want stricter gun control, but they have divided on whether guns make public places safer by Ariel Edwards. Ariel points out CNN's polling has found consistent majority backing for stricter gun laws since 2016, with 60% of more favoring tighter restrictions in every survey to ask questions since the 2018 mass shooting at a high school in Parkland, Florida. So the Parkland, Florida shooting was massive. That one is when a teenager just walked in, was roaming around with a gun and a rifle, which is it's a big weapon. It's a big weapon. It was roaming around with a rifle and then just killed innocent children. Now, like I said, the idea of the talk of gun control comes is when there is mass shootings. That's the only time they ever discuss it. But I feel like they should be more focused on trying to protect the children and have people be more safe than the right of bearing arms. Because that is the Second Amendment, and that's where people try to always talk about. Since it's constitutional, they shouldn't be really in the talks. That no matter what, we should own guns. But and but the lives of children are very important. Just like I've said to other people, if your children were in that situation, and what would you say, right? You would want to be a safer place for your children to be is at school. So you wouldn't want to be worried about stuff like that. And in another article that I've done some research on, Measuring the Effectiveness of Gun Laws by Jeffrey Fagan, he mentions that prohibitions on both gun ownerships and gun carrying, when those provisions are repealed, that's when the homicide rates tend to go up. So, like I said before, when more guns, more rates of higher homicides and suicides go up. So the idea is to keep guns away from children and anybody. We do understand that, people want to carry guns because of their own safety, but the more guns does not mean the more safety. So yeah, today that was my idea, that make guns more strict to be able to purchase, go more further down into getting a background check. So yeah, thank you.